Hello, my goddesses. So I don't know if you know this, but I just started the book Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I took some notes as to some things that I really got from it because I really like it so far. I'm at chapter 5, but I'm going to only make this about chapter 1. So basically, the first chapter, the central idea is pretty simple. Your life doesn't change because you want it to. Your life changes when you are being, when who you are changes. Not your goals or your affirmation, but what your mental state. In our language, we're going to start calling that our inner climate. Because when you repeatedly feel, expect, and assume, we talked about assumption in the last video, is what the field of creation, our field of creation responds to. The familiar self versus the field. So most people are not blocked from the field of creation. They're simply creating and recreating the same inner state every day, the same reactions and the same emotional patterns. So later on in the books, he does dive deeper into talking about how your emotional reactions are actually chemicals in your body. The same assumptions about how life works for everybody. They focus on the familiar and what feels normal, even when it produces struggle. He does talk a little bit about how people are addicted to like their struggle, which I do believe that. And because it feels normal, the body keeps returning it to it automatically. It's not failure. This is how we condition ourselves to become who we are today. And you're watching this video at this time in your life because you're looking for a change. So your first step is the search for self, right? And so sometimes we need the outside world to reflect our inside world. So that's why we're here right now. What I mean by that, by you engaging with this video, because this is what you're looking for. You're looking for that fulfillment. But change is uncomfortable. The body is designed to keep you in what it recognizes. It prefers what's familiar over what's possible. But when you move towards something new, even something beautiful, your body tends to respond in discomfort. I am a firm believer that fear in itself, I mean, depending on like fear, where you are in this fear, but fear in itself, for me, when you start something new and that fearful feeling, it's kind of like an adrenaline rush. Like the fear, I want you to think of fear when you are starting something new, kind of like Finding Nemo and Dory when they were going to, oh man, what's that big thing where they met Crush? Oh, I forgot. But when I think about that scene when they're looking at this huge like tunnel that's gonna take them to Sydney, they have to jump in that. And so that's your fear, is watching yourself reach a possibility of success. You know that you have to enter into, I want you to think of that as your field of creation. You know that you have to enter into that space so that you can come out the other side exactly where you want to be. And when you're in that space, it's scary, right? Like it's scary. You're going super fast, it's going super slow, it's uncomfortable. Like there's just so many things that are going on, but you have to trust that once you make that leap into what your field is created for you, or what you have created in your field of creation, that you're gonna be okay and you're gonna come out on the other side okay. There's nothing wrong with the unfamiliar. But if that's not making you happy, then like you should consider looking into yourself just a little bit more. This is where people tend to turn back, not because they lack desire, but because the unfamiliar feels unsafe to the nervous system. The body follows emotions, not intentions. He does a really good job explaining that in the book. One of the most important ideas of this chapter is the body listens to your emotions, not your intentions. You can think new thoughts, you can want a new life, but if your body is still living under stress, urgency, control, and overthinking, then your inner climate has not changed. And the field of creation will respond to that. In our world, we are very careful of the emotions that we feel because our emotions connect to the grid that is around us. Our emotions control everything that is around us. And how we respond to people emotionally speaks more about us than about the other person. So when you are manifesting, when you are trying to bring something into fruition, it's really important that you feel the emotion of what that feels like and go into a space where you can feel that emotion, even if that means that you can go into, I don't know, let's say you wanted a Louis Vuitton bag. You need to go to the Louis Vuitton store, even if you are just shopping around, and allow yourself to capture the vibrational frequency you feel about being there. I'm saying that because that's what I'm doing, but I already have a Louis Vuitton bag. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then your inner climate has not changed, and the field of creation responds to that, not words. This is why thinking positively doesn't always work, because thinking alone does not shift the inner climate. The body needs to experience a new state before it accepts a new future. That's why this work is not about effort, it's about interrupting automatic reactions. The moment you respond differently, even slightly, you step out of old patterns. Stepping into the unknown. Change requires stepping into the unknown. This means allowing yourself to rest without knowing exactly how things will unfold. The unknown can feel dangerous, and remember we talked about that fear, but it's only because it's unfamiliar, and don't just jump in head first into something. Obviously do your research about it and then make a very sound decision in your mind. If you feel like you can jump in and do it all, then more power to you. Do what makes you feel happy. But if you don't do something different, if you don't change one thing a day and keep that one thing consistent, different, then you're going to find yourself repeating old patterns. And the familiar patterns from your past will come back. The unknown allows something new. People stay stuck not because they're incapable, but because the familiar feels like their identity. So letting go of old patterns can feel like letting go of yourself. But what you're really realizing is not who you are. You are who you've been practicing to be. And practice can change. The fastest way to get out of your old present, when you are present, you don't need to rehearse the past. You're not predicting the future. You're not reinforcing an old identity. Even brief moments of presence shift your inner climate. The small shifts are powerful. The field of creation responds immediately to presence. You must feel differently before life looks different. Not excitement, not forced positivity, but calm confidence. You gotta trust yourself that what you're doing is real. That's why it's not even good to really tell anybody what your plans are. Just do it quietly and then just see what happens. Because if you fail, you fail. But I feel like sometimes when you let too many people know what you're doing, it can really cause a lot of pressure on you to do it. So yeah, just go about your business and walk around like you think it's gonna happen for you, because it's gonna happen for you. These feelings are signals of safety to the body, and when the body feels safe, it allows for change. Your role is not to control the outcome. Your role is awareness, presence, emotional regulation, consistency. Every time you soften instead of react, you're practicing a new inner climate, and practice creates identity. It's practical. If you want a new life, you cannot keep running to the same internal state. The moment you stop rehearsing your old self, you make space for something new. The field of creation does not rest for you. Keep in mind, it's always active. It's always waiting for you. You can change your mind in anything. You decide what your field of creation is. You do not need to become somebody else. You only need to stop running to the version of you that no longer fits. Your inner knowledge will guide you, when you stop overriding with urgency. The field of creation responds the moment your inner climate changes. And that's where your actual transformation begins. So those are my notes that I got from chapter 1. I'm going to do something similar for chapter 2. And we can talk about it. If you are reading chapter 1, let's start a mini book club. Tell me about what you think about it in the comments. I want to read them. I want to respond to them. And really use it in my own life to manifest some things that I want next. Tomorrow I think I might make a video on on creating a vision board, so you guys can see some of the things that I'm trying to manifest into my life. I think to be alive is to manifest. And as always, it is done. You have it. Have an amazing day today, guys. It was so nice talking to you. Bye.